my demons. It's me, Prince Shadow. Oh. And we're gonna be talking about this what if. This is gonna be my second what if I'm ever gonna do. And it's called What If Izuku and Izumi Was Abandoned? And let's just jump right into it because I do not have anything to say. So, we're gonna start this what if at where Izuku and Izumi were born. To Inko Midoriya, the 10th hero, and Hisashi Midoriya, the number 12 hero. They are very rich in this what if. So they live in they are taking their life very high and stuck up. They wanted to have kids so they could get more money and live a very more luxurious life. This is going to be sister Izumi, and this is going to be Izuku. I'll tell you why their hair doesn't look anything like their parents, but we're going to start at their birth with Inko in the hospital. Inko in the hospital having two kids, one named Izuku and one named Izumi. Izuku came out first, didn't cry, just was there. And when his dad held him, he smiled. The doctors were surprised because they never had a baby that came out and didn't cry or nothing like that. Then they couldn't think about it or anything because another baby was coming out, Izumi, 5 minutes later. So now they have two kids, Izuku and Izumi. While Hisashi was holding both of them, Inko was knocked out, sleeping. It took Inko 5 hours before she woke up. Hisashi gave Inko Izuku and Izumi. Inko smiled and said, "I know you're gonna do greatness in this world." While in this world, there's only like 1% of quirkless people. So, quirkless people are discriminated worse. Anybody who doesn't have a quirk is less than useless. People call them dirt is more useful than them. So now we time skip about 5 years. You see Izumi and Izuku running around the house, running away from the maids. Cause I told you, Inko and Hisashi live in a very prestigious and rich house. So they have maids, butlers, and all that. So while Izumi and Izuku is running around the house, they ran straight inside their parents' room saying, "Mom, Dad, today's day we go get our quirk evaluated. Inko was the first one to speak, saying, "Oh, it is that day. In about an hour and 2 we'll leave." Wow. Hisashi just agreed with Inko. So, while they're waiting the 2 hours, Izuku and Izumi went outside, playing with a ball. That's all they love to do, play with each other. Because their parents never allowed them to leave the house. They didn't know why, but they did not care. Once they have each other, Izumi and Izuku have a very close bond that, like, it's very hard to see one without another. Like one time when they were kids, Izumi did something and broke a glass. So she went in punishment. Izuku didn't know he was looking around the whole house all day just trying to look for her. Until he started crying. His mom had to come to him and ask him what's wrong. Izuku said, I can't find my sister. So he started crying more and more. Till Inko showed where Izumi was. That's how close they are. I'm not good at explaining. This is my second one, so I'm really not that good at chart. So where was I? Okay. 2 hours passed. All of them have their clothes on, going into the car. They drive to the hospital that Inko had them at. They drive at the hospital. When they came out the car, Izumi and Izuku dashed inside, while Sashi was holding their hand, trying to make sure no one got hurt. When they all got inside, they registered for quirk evaluation, and they sit down in a chair and waited. After a couple of minutes, the doctor came in and said, "Y'all come in now." They went in. Izuku and Izumi were sitting on a chair, and the doctor came and tried and see if they had a quirk. Maybe 1 hour passed. The doctor came back, stuttering, saying, I'm sorry, Miss and Mr. Midoriya, but your son and daughter are quirkless. The doctor wasn't surprised to see the look in their eyes. Isashi had a look of disgust, and Inko had a look of why and mistakes. So, in a very sweet voice, Inko says, "Thank you, doctor." They grab Izuku and Izumi by their arm, pulling it, almost dislocating it, and they threw them in the car. They drive, nobody talk through the drive, while Izuku and Izumi was crying silently in the backseat. So, once they got into their house, Izuku and Izumi dashed to their room before their parents could even try anything because they were scared. But Inko said, No, where do y'all think your brats were going? We clothed you, we fed you, we buy anything you want, and all we wanted back in return is y'all to have a quirk to be useful in this world. That's all we wanted. That's what Inko said, lifting up Izuku by his throat. Izumi was scared. He tried to get his mom off his brother, but Sashi just kicked her away, knocking her out. That would make Izuku mad and started trying to hit Inko in the face, trying to let him go so he could help his sister. But Inko just picked up Izuku and just threw him at the wall and knocking both of them out. Time skip, a good 1 or 2 days. You see Izuku and Izumi sitting down in their room, scared, terrified of their parents, at the butlers and the maids, because even when their parents go to do hero duties, the maids kick them, the maids slap them, punch them. The butlers doesn't do anything, but when I mean they don't do anything, they don't try to help. They don't even try to feed them or help them. They just turn around and look away like nothing happened. So you see Izuku and Izumi going up to one of the butlers asking, "Can we have some food, please?" The butler says yes, and just gave them both one slice of bread and a little bit of water for both of them to share. Izuku and Izumi know that's the only thing they was gonna get, so they walked away and said thank you. Time skip. Another year was 5, so set 2 years. I'll just say 2 years. You see, Inko and Isashi just hired a new butler. For the first couple of weeks, he didn't know anything about Izuku. I mean, he did know something about Izuku and Izumi, that they were quirkless, but he treated them very, very nice, being surprised. Izuku and Izumi was happy in a whole lot while, because that was the first time in 2 years that they was treating nice. Izuku and Izumi was getting fed more by him, without the other butlers and maids, and even Masashi and Inko finding out. So they started getting more meat on their body. But that was just a play, trying to gain their trust. Cause another month or 2 passed, and Izumi went up to the butler, and the butler asked Izumi if she could follow him somewhere private. Izumi went, because Izuku was still asleep. She was hesitant because she don't like going anywhere without her brother, but she trusted this butler because he was the only one that was being nice to him. So she went with the butler. That was a big mistake, because as soon as they got in a private place, the butler tried to strip off Izumi clothes, and Izuku wake up like 1 minute or 2 minutes before all this, so he is panicking and running around looking for his sister, and he see this slight door moving. No, he didn't do anything yet. He was just trying to strip off her clothes. Izuku went and kicked the door down. He tried his best to kick the door down. It took him 1 or 2 tries before he did. And he walked in while he was scarred for life, because he sees the butler that he thought was nice to him stripping his sister clothes off. He got really mad. I mean, really mad. And went and punched the butler out, actually knocking him out. You see, Izuku carried his sister all the way back to their room, crying. 2 reasons. He was scared for his sister, who his knuckles was bleeding badly. So when his sister woke up, he started crying, and he got a first aid kit, because their parents leave them up. They always make sure they have a first aid kit on time. Bandaging Izuku's fist, and they just cried until they fall asleep. So now this happened. That's the first time. Like 3 more times before Sasuke saw the butler not doing their job. He fired the butler. Izuku and Izumi was happy because Izumi won't get that treatment anymore. And we skip another day. Izuku and Izumi was laying there sleeping on the floor. Only thing they was holding was each other's hand.
Cause after the butler, they always sleep with each other hands hold and never go anywhere without each other. Cause if one move, the one suddenly always wakes up. So you see, Izuku and Izumi heard a knocking at their door. Not even a knocking, just the door opening wide open. And see their parents drunk, actually. Their mom holding a wine glass, saying it's time for your nightly. No, did I say in the morning or the night? If I said in the morning, it's nighttime. Sorry. It's time for your nightly beating. He came in there drunk, but instead of just using their hand, or usually sometimes her quirk. Did I even say what a quirk is? Her quirk is like a high telekinesis. So, an Isashi quirk is the same thing, but very more powerful. Instead of just breathing fire, you can manipulate fire with a tiny bit. But back to the story. She came in with a very large wine glass, drunk, with Isashi just holding a beer bottle. And they went up and say, it's time for your nightly beating. Grabbing the wine glass what Inko grabbed, and Isashi grabbing the beer bottle. And it hurt 2 times worse. So they cried and said stop until Izuku and Izumi got hit in the head, and they was knocked out for a good while, at least 2 days. They say Isashi and Inko says if they die, they die. They live, they live. I really don't care. So you see, Izuku and Izumi woke up to meet them. These two right here. Cause these two are called Tail Beast. If you ever watch Naruto, you know who they are. Her name is Matatabi, and his name is Kodama. They talked. Izuku and Izumi for some reason wasn't scared, because they was cute and small and fluffy. Cause they're not the big Matatabi and Kodama, because they just born. They're actually just born because the day that the day that Izuku and Izumi was born, they born the same time. They don't know where they came from or how they got here, but they knew there was a purpose. They learned things faster and quicker than normal humans. So Adatabi spoke first and saying, I'm so sorry, human. We weren't able to help you. Izuku and Izumi was scared because they do not like trusting people at all. Because the last person they trust did something to them that they'll never forget. Matatabi says, I do not have any reason, me or Kurama doesn't have any reason to hurt you at all. And then Kurama starts speaking, saying, we're just here we're just here to help you and give you powers. And that's when Izumi speaks and says, but we're quirkless. Yes, and then Izuku says, yeah, we're just quirkless nobodies, as the parents call us, worthless, just a piece of trash in this world. And then Kurama says, can y'all please just shut up about that, scaring them a little. Matatabi says, can you please be more gentle to them, they're just kids. Then Kurama just says back to Matatabi, we're kids too. They're not actually kids because, as I see, I made Izuku and Izumi are 7, and I made Tail Beast 2 times their age, so Matatabi and Kurama are 14. So let's see. Let's get back to the what if. Now we see Kurama saying that if we can lend you our powers, if you desire. My power is to control fire. Almost same as hers, but she can control blue fire. And we have auras. In this one, I'm not gonna give him cloak because there's no such thing as chakra, so I'm gonna give it as aura. My aura is the strongest as I think, because yeah, he just knows for some reason. My aura is the strongest between both of us, but her fire is the strongest between both of us. So we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. But for you, Izuku, I am your strength. I will give you power. Amatatabi says, for you, Izumi, I am your strength and I will give you power. And they both lend out a hand and say, can we be friends? Izumi and Izuku cried and said, you really gonna help us? No tricks, no nothing? They both, Kurama and Matatabi says, yes. So Izuku and Izumi cried and says, okay. But the downside is that they can't use their powers until they're 12, or their body will just blow up from the immense strength of their aura. So Izumi and Izuku can leave when they're 12, but they just have to endure it. Izumi and Izuku says, we really don't care once we leave from this hell. So Izuku and Izumi can't use their powers just yet, but Matatabi and Kurama can help them heal. They have healing abilities with their aura. So, and let's just say I given them both extra power from all this beating. They get they have shock absorption. So they're not shock absorption. I mean pain nullified from all the abuse they've been getting. So they really don't feel pain that much anymore. So they're now 7. We're gonna have a 4-year time skip. Am I right? Did I do math? My life, 5-year time skip. 5-year time skip. Where you see, oh my god, I need to put my phone on charge. Where you see, 12-year-old Izuku, this is not what he looks like. He'll get the kimono, and he'll get all that once he leaves and get stuff. This is what Izumi looks like, but not with the dress and all that. That's her hair. Matatabi hair, because once they connect, they both had green hair with green eyes, but once we uses her power, she's gonna have blue hair with blue eyes. But Izuku gonna have orange hair with blue eyes. They wanted to have the same eyes, so they both choose blue. Here. Let me just keep it as this. So, where are we? You see a 12-year-old Izuku fighting a butler for trying to hurt her sister. Now these days, they can't actually hurt them anymore because Izuku and Izumi can fight back. They have been learning how to fight. Kurama and Matatabi has been training them how to fight. They do not know how they know this, but they just know. I'm just gonna give them, they can't use chakra, but Matatabi and Kurama remembers things from the Naruto where like Kenjutsu, sword, how to use a sword, how the taijutsu, how to fight with their fists and feet and all that. So that's how they've been training them. They do not know how they noticed them. So you see a 12-year-old Izuku knocking out a butler. So and then after that they both ran into their room, locking the door. And then they get locked the door, but the parents have the key to the room, so they can open it up anytime they want. So you see a 12-year-old Izuku and a 12-year-old Izumi talking to Kodama and Matatabi in their mindscape, saying, "So it's finally time for us to leave this hell." Crying, because he's been waiting for this day all his life. Not all his life, but 9% of his life. Izumi was happy and still crying, saying, "Yeah, finally." So they sneak out of the house, but they can't leave because of the gate of electricity, and they're wearing a collar. So if they get too far out of the gate, it will shock them and knock them out and turn on their tracker on the collar, and the butlers or the maids will come pick them up. So Izumi and Izuku goes outside into the backyard and start using their auto. I don't have a picture, but let me see if I can find a picture. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, this is a picture right here. This is Izuku cloak. I mean, not cloak, I'll call it auto. Izuku auto, but without the Rasengan. And imagine that is Izuku. And this is Izumi cloak. It's blue instead of being red. And imagine not the Rasengan, and that is Izumi. I try my best. So, where was I? They both turn on their cloaks. And then you see both of them turning on their cloaks. And a shockwave happened. You see a shockwave just emanating around them. Their aura. Every time they punch, it feels like they could break through anything. Because this power may be like the weakest one, but it's very strong. Let's just say it could go toe to toe. If one of them just like in that first tail, if they go against Endeavor by themselves, they could lose. But if they go together, they will still lose, but leave Endeavor panting almost close to death. So they power down. Izuku, yeah. So they power down. You see Izuku with this big smile on his face, saying, "We finally did it. We finally got a power of our own. Power we can stand up to anybody, and they will never be able to hurt any of us." With Izumi agreeing. So they say it's time to get revenge and leave this hell. You see Izuku and Izumi, because nobody saw that. Just say nobody saw that. So you see Izuku and Izumi dashing back to their room before anybody saw them, and just locking the door. And they just, all they did, because they only have a small TV. The parents are very bad, but they're not. Yeah, let's just say they have a small TV. So they both just sit there, just watching TV. While Izuku laid in Izumi's lap, falling asleep. So, time skip. Another 5 hours and it was nighttime. You see Izuku and Izumi trying to get what little clothes they have in a bag. Like 1 pants, 3 shirts they have on them. They don't have a lot at all. And they have like a small plastic bag. Yeah. You see them, they putting that in. And they're getting ready to leave. And then you hear, "It's time for your beating, brats," or mistakes, or any of that. You see Izuku and Izumi standing in the door inside the walkway saying, "It's time for you to stop it and let us go, or else we're gonna hurt you." Ingo and Isashi start laughing, saying, "Y'all quirkless, nobody gonna hurt us." They start laughing and laughing. That made Izuku and Izumi pissed off and saying, "Fine, you asked for this." As Izuku and Izumi power up to their first tails, Izumi runs like blitzes, because not even the naked eye can see how fast she's going. She don't even know how fast she's going at this point. She just runs, stabs her mother, missing, not killing her, but missing a lot of vital organs, not hitting any. Just stabbing her through the chest. Through the stomach, missing the vital organs. She's bleeding on the floor, but she's gonna live, because Izumi hates their parents, but she's not a murderer. But Izuku did the same thing, stabbing his parents with their claws, because in that form their claws go very, very long, fox-like and cat-like claws, but longer. And then yeah. So you see Izumi and Izuku trying to walk out the door, and you see the butlers, the maids have weapons, saying, "You're not gonna leave until we say you can." Izumi and Izuku says, "Fine, and we can make you say it then," and runs in. There's like 10 butlers, 15 maids, so in total that's 25 in total. Two of them have to fight. Time skip 20 to 30 minutes. You see Izuku panting a lot, because they didn't get hurt, but they're very tired because of their cat-like instincts and senses, and Izumi cat-like instincts and senses, and Izuku fox-like instinct and senses. They sense before any of them could hit them, so they dodge and just slice through everybody, not killing them, just leaving them with very bad scars. What they did to them, seeing, and they both sing, "Now you felt the pain what y'all made us feel," and walked out the door. So that is where I'm gonna leave part 1 of what if Izuku and Izumi was abandoned. Well, there wasn't abandoned. Let's just say, how would I say it? They ran away from a very, very terrible home. So that's where I'm gonna leave it off. So please like, share, comment, and give me feedback, please, because I do not know how if this is a good what if, bad what if, or I'm very bad at doing what if, and I should stop. So subscribe too, please. And I'm gonna leave you there, my fellow demons. This is your Prince Shadow signing off.